Yo, what's going on, man? Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Today is March the 22nd. Should be a pretty quick show. There is something that I want to lock in right now that I see at plus money. So I am going to make this bet before we even get started on the show. I'll tell you guys the bet in case you want to bet it. But I'm looking at the odds right now, and they're moving. They are moving, and I want to get this at plus money. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock this in. The bet that I'm looking to place right now is Jaxson Hayes up and over his 8.5 points today. I'll give you guys the handicap on it later, but I see the number moving. It's only plus money at one book right now, which is ESPN Bet, and I want the plus money. So I'm going to get it before it drops to 105, 109. Yeah, if you want the bet, place it with me. Sent this out to the members last night, but so you guys know why I like the over. But I also talked about liking the 7.5, and 7.5 is gone. So yeah. All right, I'm locking in Jaxson Hayes up and over 8.5 points on ESPN Bet. That's the play that you know I'm on for today. I think he finishes with double digits, so I want to play this real quick before we get started. Not sure if the line is going to continue to move or not. I think that it will, based on matchup. So locking in Jaxson Hayes real quick. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. We are going to get things started in just a second. I just want to make sure that the bet is placed. Let's see. ESPN Bet be giving me the runaround sometimes, man. I don't know if it's like that for y'all. All right, cool. It is placed. I want to take just a quick second to send this to my members. Create a post. I sent it out last night. If you could have got the 7.5 at minus 117, I did not. I thought we might wake up and get better odds. Checked in the middle of the night, did not. Plus 115 right now on ESPN Bet. All right, cool. Sorry that took so long. Took a little longer than I thought. But yeah, I just looking at the odds as they were moving. Like, yeah, let's just go ahead and play this. All right, so on today's card, we have, I think, just 5 games. So we'll jump through those. Let's go ahead and get into a quick recap, and then we will check out a couple comments and see what Jaxson likes for today. Let's see. Yeah, I'm good. You guys can hear me. Okay. All right, cool. So last night, if anybody who got a chance to watch Miami and Houston, Bam Adebayo decided he did not want to let me be great. I've tried to fade the Miami Heat twice. Bam hits a three-pointer with 0.6 seconds left, a meaningless three-pointer when they're down by 7 to cover. Yeah, it was frustrating. It was hurtful. I was about to tweet out, shout out to Fred VanVleet for holding your boy down. He hit 9 threes last night. For anybody who didn't get to watch the game, finished with 37 points. Jalen Green had 6. Dylan Brooks was 1 for 7 from the three-point line. Fred VanVleet went there, pretty much won the game by himself. Him and the rebounder won the game. And they had a cover until 0.06 seconds left. So that was the only loser. Orlando -7 was easy. Clippers team total up and over 119.5 or 118.5 was also easy yesterday. So yeah, it was a profitable day, but it should have been a clean sweep. And I am a little bit frustrated about it, if I'm being honest. Let's see. What up to my people in here? What up, Jay Hank says Jaxson hit that over. Thank you. Yeah, I actually like that over a lot too. Probably should have got to the window with that. The over was the Bulls and the not the Bulls, it was the 76ers and the San Antonio Spurs yesterday. We talked about liking that over. What up, Reem? Young Man Travel says, morning fam, let's cash today. We sleep. I mean, yeah, I gotta get some rest sometimes, but I'm up. I've been up. What up, Justin? Appreciate you for tapping in. Good morning. Brian says, good morning, Chris. Depending on who is in, I'm back on the Lakers first half, but Chicago could just cover these teams fighting for playoff positions have been good money. And that's a fact. That's a fact. And shout out to the Lakers, man. They moved to third seed last night. Didn't even play a game. Didn't even play a game. But Memphis lost last night. Denver lost last night. So Lakers back in third right now. What up, Mark? Good morning to you. My guy Mark in here as always. Timothy says, I'm coming off 0 days rest of sports betting. Should be a profitable day. I like it. I like it. Cal says he bet Suns -3 and KD over 35 points parlay. My best win in a long time. Confident, most confident I've been in a long time. Felt good. Shout out to you, Cal. I like to hear that. Like to hear that for sure. GLB Best says finally played a 3-unit on Porzingis' first quarter points last night. Had to jump on the wagon. I should have. I saw he had 10 with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. GLB. Yeah, no Jaylen Brown. That was easy. Shout out to you. Nice little 3. Nothing like winning a whole bunch before the game even gets to the second quarter. Love to hear that. What up, Sweezy? Appreciate you for tapping in as always. LBA, what's going on, my brother? Says my name, ChrisBeCappinn, and I don't be capping. What up, bro? All right, let's jump into it for today, man. Let's jump into it for today. So it's only 5 games. Should be a little bit of a quicker show. We'll start off with jaXon, as we always do, your AI sports betting handicapper, partner, homie, whatever you want to call jaXon. Today, I asked jaXon about the best. I be asking jaXon for the best. Like D means one, singular, NBA player prop based on last 10 game hit rates. And I give you one, and I give you a total too. jaXon likes Josh Giddey today over his points and rebounds. Also likes LeBron over his points, rebounds, and assists at 39.5 as well. Also likes Tyrese Halliburton over his assists. So it's a bunch of different things that jaXon likes. I could read off all of these. Matter of fact, you just pick which one you like. Tyrese Halliburton over 9.5 assists. He's hit 9 of the last 10 games, averaging 12 assists during that span. Brooklyn ranks 15th in defense against the guard, a neutral matchup for Halliburton. He's been a consistent playmaker, and his recent form suggests he could continue to dominate in this category. The next average defense against his position further supports the pick. So Tyrese Halliburton over 9.5 assists. We'll see if he actually plays. And then so that's one. And then we got LeBron over his points, rebounds, and assists. We'll see if he plays. Says he's hitting 8 of his last 10 games, averaging 45.2 combined points, rebounds, and assists. The Bulls rank 21st against forwards, making it a favorable matchup. He thrives in high usage situations. The Bulls' weak defense against his position makes this line achievable for LeBron over his 39.5 points, rebounds, and assists, currently -115 on DraftKings. Josh Giddey over his points plus rebounds at 26.5. Says that he's hit the over in 10 straight games, averaging 33.5 points plus rebounds. The Lakers ranked 9th in defense against the guard, a slightly tougher matchup, but not prohibitive. Is what jaXon says. Giddey's recent form is exceptional, and his ability to contribute across multiple categories makes it a strong play. So jaXon likes those 3 plays as far as player props go. And then as far as total, jaXon likes let's see. It likes the Wizards and the Knicks under, which I like this as well. I actually played it already. It says the Knicks have gone under in 8 of their last 10 games, which is with an average combined total of 216 points. The Wizards have gone under in 6 of their last 10 games, averaging 218 points. Advanced stats, both teams ranked bottom 10 in pace over the last 10 games. The Knicks also ranked 3rd in defensive efficiency during that time span, limiting opponents' scoring opportunities. The Wizards' offensive inconsistencies and the Knicks' ability to control the tempo at home make it a strong underplay. So under 220.5, which you can get a much better number now. I think this is up to 223, is the play that jaXon likes here. So I'm not sure why the numbers aren't updated, but jaXon likes the under in that game. jaXon also gave out a winner yesterday. Min Thompson over his 7.5 boards. It was plus 102 on FanDuel at the time. I didn't bet it because I had already had a bet in the game, but yeah, that was a winner as well. All right, so a lot of what gave you guys a lot of jaXon stuff today. And there is, if you're interested in checking it out for yourself, just hit that the link in the description of the video, and you can get 5 free prompts, or you can get 5 free prompts, or you could just sign up if you want to and get 50% off. So save yourself some time. Check out jaXon. Let's jump into it for today. So first one that we got, I'll be quick on this one. We got the Brooklyn Nets and the Indiana Pacers. The reason I'll be quick is because can't really handicap the game if you don't know who's going to play. This is probably the one that you have to wait on more than any of the others. It's kind of frustrating in my opinion, and I'm not going to go off on a tangent, but it is kind of frustrating that the Pacers continue to list Tyrese Halliburton as questionable when clearly, he's been questionable for 4 games. So he should have been more doubtful in those games. And potentially we'll see if he plays in this one. But neither here nor there. He is on the injury report listed as questionable. D'Angelo Russell has already been ruled out. Zaire Williams is now questionable. We talked about liking Zaire Williams over his points prop. He cashed it pretty easily, even before overtime when these two teams just played on Thursday night. So now we get, the rematch. The game went to overtime. It did get a little chippy for people who had a chance to watch it. And the Brooklyn Nets, their offense probably should be even worse without D'Angelo Russell. I think they do get Cam Johnson back, who didn't play in the last game. So some things to kind of take into consideration. What I wrote in my notes is that Indiana, they did win by 6 in overtime as an 8-point home favorite. And that was in a back-to-back. That was also 5th game in 7 nights for the Pacers. And the game went well under 221.5, even though it ended up in overtime. The reason why I went under, Brooklyn shot 28% from the 3-point line. They were 14 for 50. The Pacers shot 8 for 31 from the 3-point line, and they were 25% from 3. Indiana was a +10 on the boards. Brooklyn won the turnover battle 25-16, which was interesting because Pacers typically a team that don't turn the basketball over as much. Brooklyn did hold Indiana to just 23 fast break points, which is 1 more than they scored. So both of these teams, even though they struggled to shoot the 3-point shot, they were getting out and running. Both teams have equal rest after this game before both teams play against non-conference opponents. I can't remember who Brooklyn plays, but I think Indiana plays Minnesota in a quick rematch, and they'll be at home. Brooklyn is so the Pacers have not been covering. They're only 2-8 against the spread in their last 10. A look towards the over that I found, if Halliburton plays, is the Pacers 4-1 to the over on the second game after facing the same opponent they just faced in the second one. They typically go up and over the total in the second one. So that was a look towards the over. Brooklyn plays slow. They play pretty good defense. I think that it goes under. So what I found on the under was Brooklyn's actually 3-0 to the under when they're facing the same opponent in a back-to-back situation. They have not reached their team total in any of those spots, and they've held each opponent under their team total as well. So no look for me on this game at all. I do think that the matchup favors the Pacers. But who knows if Halliburton is going to play? The Brooklyn Nets don't play really good transition defense, so I expect the Pacers to be able to get out and run. The Brooklyn Nets also don't guard the rim well, so if Tyrese Halliburton comes back, he'll be fresh, and I do think the Pacers should be able to take advantage of the paint. So, I lean Brooklyn plus the points last game. I know that they've been covering machines, but if Tyrese Halliburton plays, I think the Pacers could blow out the Brooklyn Nets team. If you like Brooklyn, maybe first quarter again. We talked about it. It's continue to hit. I think the Brooklyn Nets have covered like 4 straight first quarters. So that's my thought process on this one. Let's see. Justin says jaXon killed the Amin Thompson over his boys yesterday for plus money. They absolutely did. Brooklyn first quarter for Bryant plus the points. I always like full game if they have Cam Johnson. Okay. Ski says I have no clue how Chris does this morning show. I still be lit. I be croaked out, Ski. I be sleep before, bro. East Coast, West Coast, totally different. But I be knocked out, man. I be knocked out. Let's see. Oh yeah, shout out to Ski. Ski went crazy yesterday. I think 4-0, 5-0 yesterday. A lot of what Ski said came to fruition last night. What up, Big Marv? Says appreciate you as always. 5 straight now. Yeah, they have been looking pretty good. Dom says I can see the Pacers keeping Holly out again. They play the Wolves on Monday and the Lakers on Wednesday next Thursday. They should be able to win the game. But yeah, Brooklyn took him to the wire last game, and now they get Cam Johnson back. I think having Cam Johnson in and no D'Lo is probably an upgrade in my opinion. Your defense gets better, your 3-point shooting gets better. D'Lo's been slouching as of late. But yeah, that's all I got on this one. Let's go to the next one. Next one up is the Warriors and the Hawks. So this line is now back down to 2.5. The Warriors are laying 2.5 points in Atlanta today, and this game is so interesting to me, man. It's actually probably my favorite bet that I haven't made yet. I just kind of wanted to see what the market was going to do. So this opened last night at 2.5, and the money, what I saw was 2.5. Let me just double check. Open 1.5. My fault. So I missed the opening line. But Golden State was laying 1.5. I did see it get all the way up to 3.5, and now the money's come back in on Atlanta to push this back to 2.5. So 2.5 is the number. The total has been like kind of all over the place. It opened at 229.5, down to 229, up to 229.5, down up to 230, now back down to 229, 229.5. So just kind of depending on, like there is some variations out here. I looked at this game long and hard last night. So Steph is out for Golden State after the pelvic contusion that he suffered. Think they're just trying to be precautious with him. Clint Capella is out. He's gonna miss the next couple games. Karis LeVert and Trae Young are both listed as probable for this game. So what I ultimately ended up, I'm gonna just get straight to it. What I ultimately ended up, what makes the most sense to me, and shout out to Ski, he said this all this time. 1 + 1 = 23 at times, and if that happens, then maybe we see the opposite. But I like Atlanta team total under in this spot. I look at the Golden State Warriors. They're really, really good on the road. They're 19-14 against the number on the road. This is before Jimmy Butler. This is full season. They've always played better on the road than they played at home. So 19-14 against the number on the road. They are 7-3 straight up in their last 10 games. They are 7-3-1 against the spread this season when they play without Steph. They're also 7-3 to the under in games without Steph. 9 of their 10 opponents have failed to reach their team total when Steph has not played. They're only giving up 103 points per game without Steph. Golden State actually beat Atlanta early this season in Golden State, 120-97. They were laying 7.5 points in that game. Back on November the 27th, it went well under the total of 240.5. And then I also like that the Warriors, they got 2 days of rest after this game before they play against Miami. So potential look ahead spot for Jimmy. We'll see how that goes because he will be back in Miami for the first time since being traded. But yeah, 2 days of rest afterwards. Golden State is the number 1 defensive rated team last 5 games. They got a defensive rating of 106.5. And then you start looking at where for Atlanta, like how they like to score the basketball. They score a lot in the paint. We know that. And actually the third most in the paint on the full season. Golden State, second fewest points allowed in the last 5 games in the paint. Golden State is a team that if you beat them, you typically got to do it from the 3-point line. Atlanta also a team that gets a lot of second chance opportunities. They're 8th in offensive rebounding rate over the last 5 games. Even though Golden State is an undersized team, they're still top 10 on the full season and top 6 in the last 5 games in limiting opponent offensive rebound. So I do think that if you get the effort from the Golden State Warriors in this game, I think that they can hold this Atlanta team down. Golden State actually playing a little bit slower. I don't expect them to play as fast as the Atlanta Hawks do, especially without Steph Curry. The other thing that Atlanta does, they like to get out and run. They're 5th in transition frequency, 5th highest in transition frequency on the full season. Golden State top 5 in transition defense, last 5 games and on the full season. So I do think that Atlanta, I know that they're at the crib. I know that they're rested. I do think that they're going to struggle to score. And I will be looking at Atlanta team total. You can get it under 114.5. It's a little bit of juice on it. Or you can just get the 113.5. I have not made this bet yet, but that is what I want to play in this game. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Houston first half was cash money yesterday. Oh, talking about college basketball. Because Houston didn't cover yesterday, right? Maybe they did. I don't think, not the Rockets. I think the Rockets only came back in the second half. Let's see. Hawks for Justin, plus 114 in his pocket. Okay. I don't like the matchup as much here, Justin. I do not like the matchup. He says they haven't won in Atlanta since 2019. Okay. Atlanta +3, no Curry, no way for me, Brian says. Okay. Dom says under 229 or Hawks team total under. So we kind of thinking the same. To this comment right here, Jimmy did get a triple-double in that last game. I was interested in his points and his rebounds and assists in this game. I do think that he's going to be one of the guys that's going to go down there, keep Atlanta off the boards. And he's coming off a triple-double game recently, right? So that makes a lot of sense to me. Matter of fact, let's go over to Outlier really quickly. Let's take a field trip over to Outlier and see if we can find some stuff on Jimmy. So this is Outlier. There is a 7-day free link trial in the description of the video if you are interested in checking it out. Let's look at Jimmy Butler. All right, so Jimmy, I'm thinking rebounds and assists, in my opinion. I think the offense is going to run through him. They'll run through Draymond as well. But 13.5 is the number. You can see that he's gone up and over in 3 straight games and 5 of the last 7. So you like to see that off the rip. Jimmy Butler up and over his rebounds and assist line at 13.5. 15.5 potential. So let's go here. Let's look at games without Steph Curry. So he's only played in one. Yeah, he's only played in one game since he's been on the team without Steph Curry. He had 18 rebounds and assists. Yeah, I mean, that's, I think, indicative how this game will go, especially if Atlanta controls pace and they play fast. So honestly, it's not a lot that I really feel like I need to see on the Atlanta side. I feel like Atlanta, I know defensively they've been a little bit better recently, but I feel like he could get to that number. I like that. I like Jimmy over his rebounds and assists in this game. But I like the under on Atlanta team total a little bit more than anything else. That's the way that I'm looking in this one. What else? Yeah, I had that written in my notes. All right, let's see. Dom says, feels like whenever Steph is out, the defense intensity picks up for the Warriors. Before Jimmy got there, now that he's there, it will be even better. I just mentioned it. I gave you guys the numbers, right? They're giving up 103 points per game without Steph. I know Atlanta's offense is scary to bet against, but against good defenses that take away what they like to do, I do think that they can limit Atlanta's offense, even in Atlanta, even with the rest disadvantage. Yeah, I like it, Dom. I like it a lot. Yeah, I like it a lot. All right, let's see. Mark says, like Atlanta for sure. Wanted to see if the line would move back to 3.5. We'll hit that team total under. Smeezy says he likes the Butler over his rebounds and assists. Jacob says he's playing Pajinski over his 3.5 assists. Okay. Yeah, I think under is the play. The Golden State Warriors are a team that can win with their defense. They don't necessarily need to win with offense. I know it's a fast pace. I sent this out to the members last night when I told people I was interested in this game. If you look at the Golden State Warriors' last 5 games, they're averaging 214 points. They're winning 110, and they're giving up 103.4. So, I mean, very low scoring games. Now, Atlanta on the opposite side, they're scoring 120, and they're giving up 115. So 235 points. Here's the big thing, though. Golden State hasn't played a really strong strength of schedule. They're 20th in strength of schedule. The Atlanta Hawks have played the second easiest strength of schedule in their last 5 games. I don't think I looked at that last night. I do think the Warriors can come in here and win the game, too. I'm not betting on the Hawks. Real quick, I know Atlanta has been playing some cupcakes. Let's see who they played. The Hornets, the Nets, the Clippers, the Hornets, the 76ers. Yeah, I can't put too much respect on your name. They lost to the Clippers and the Nets outright. Yeah, they did beat the Hornets. That was a game without LaMelo and without Bridges, though, so I can't give them too much respect for that. And they beat the 76ers. Everybody doing that. So, yeah, super easy strength of schedule here. All right, that's enough for this one. I felt like we did a pretty good job. Let's go to the next one. We got the Wizards and the Knicks, and I did bet this one. This total has moved against me. It's up to 230.23. I did play under, And it's a half unit bet, but I'm still frustrated that the market is moving against me. I put this in my notes last night when I sent it out to the members. And yeah, it's just a game that I think is going to go under. So we start with the injury report. The Wizards, of course, on the second leg of a back-to-back. It's another terrible spot for the Wizards. They won a 7-game road trip. They came home for 1 game last night just to get blown out by the Orlando Magic. And then they're right back on the road with no rest in between. Marcus Smart did not play yesterday. I'm expecting him maybe to play today. We'll see. If he plays, even if he does play, Chris Middleton played yesterday. Not expecting him to play on the second leg of a back-to-back. And the Wizards have kind of gone into like now, I wouldn't say tanking mode, but they're trying to develop some of those younger guys. So Sarr has been hooping. If you like Sarr, I couldn't talk you off some Sarr props. Jordan Poole minutes have been kind of cut in half. They're starting AJ Johnson now. Like, I just don't see a lot of points on the Washington Wizards side of things. And on top of that, the Wizards have the worst offensive rating on the second leg of a back-to-back. They got an offensive rating of 100, like just 100. And I put this in the notes yesterday. The other thing is Miles McBride. He's also listed as game time decision. I think that he could potentially be. I think he could potentially rest in this spot just based on what I was reading from the beat reporters last night. It's a growing injury. I'm not expecting Thibodeau to throw him out there today. We'll see what happens. I'm just speculating. But the Wizards getting into the numbers: 7-4 to the under when they're playing unrested, 4-1 to the under if they're playing unrested in road games, only averaging 100 points in that spot. The Knicks have also been an under team since the All-Star break, large part to no Jalen Brunson. They're 11-4 to the under since the All-Star break, 6-2 to the under without Brunson playing. Games only averaging 215 points. Washington is the 25th offensive rated team, last 5 games, worst offensive rated team in the league on the full season and on the second leg of back-to-backs. Their transition offense is something that is a little scary because the Knicks can give up some transition points. But recently, the Wizards haven't even been running as fast as of late. They slowed down a lot. The Knicks' transition defense has actually been better without Brunson in as well. So yeah, the Knicks, their offense hasn't been great. Third worst offensive rated team last 5 games. The worst effective field goal percentage, and they're playing at the second slowest pace in the last 5 games. So I am expecting this game to go under. I am expecting it to go under, and I see that team total that Wizards. So hold on here now. All right, hold on. All right, so hold on. Hold on. I see the total dropping for the Atlanta game. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the Atlanta team total under. The 114.5s are gone unless you got Bally Bet or Bet Rivers. And the 113.5s are still available, but even those are minus 115. So I'm going to DraftKings right now. It looks like DraftKings got this at minus 112, and I'm going to lock in the Atlanta team total under 113.5 at minus 112 odds on DraftKings if they still got the best number. This is what I want to play. I don't want that total to keep dropping where I get the worst of the number, because then I won't play it and work too hard to not put a play in. And it looks like it's minus 115. My eyes screen must not be accurate. But yeah, it's 115 everywhere. So I'm going to play the 115 on the Atlanta team total under. And that's going to be an official play for me as well. Do not want the worst of the number. All right, so that's in. I just need to send that out to the members real quick. Atlanta team total under 113.5, minus 115 on DK. 115 is available on a lot of different books. Yeah, under 115, minus 115 is available on a lot of books if you want the Atlanta team total under. We'll see where it goes. It might get better throughout the day. We'll see. But I did just play it, and I did just send it out to the members. Let's see. So yeah, I like this under. Going back to this game, I like the under a little bit more than anything else. Do I want to lay 15 points with the Knicks? No, I don't. Can they win this game by 30? I think so, even though they haven't necessarily been covering as of late since Brunson been out, especially a big number like this. But one interesting thing that I noted yesterday, the Wizards are just 3-8 against the spread when they're playing unrested. And like I said, I'm expecting Middleton to sit, so that's going to be less offense. And this was crazy. Washington has lost every game unrested by 14 points or more, except one. They actually won one, and then the other one they lost by 6. So I do think it's a spot where they potentially get smoked. They also 1-5 ATS, last 5 when they're unrested on the road as well. So yeah, I do think that the Knicks can win this game by margin. I think the Wizards probably get smoked here, and their team total was 104.5 yesterday against the Wizards, against the Magic. I talked about liking the under when I did Cal's show. I didn't bet it because I'd already bet Orlando, and the team total opened at 102.5 today. It's up to 103.5. I think that it could struggle to get to 103. I don't think the Knicks need to get to 120 to win the game. So I did bet under. I got a worse number at 221.5. I would definitely bet it at 223. So that's my thoughts on this one. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. I didn't really look into any player props, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot that makes sense in this one. Let's see. Wizards team total under, bounce back for the Knicks. Yeah, the Knicks were in a terrible spot. I mean, still not the greatest spot, but the Knicks had played. The Knicks are actually the only team in the NBA, I think, that have not had 2 back-to-back games since the All-Star break. So they have not had 2 home games. It's been 15 straight games. I looked into it yesterday. I forgot to mention this. The Knicks have traveled for 15 straight games. Every single game since the All-Star break, they've had to travel. And this one too, because they still had to travel from Charlotte where they lost, off back-to-back losses as well, of course, to the Spurs and to the Charlotte Hornets. So, yeah. Victor says, new to the channel, Chris. Can't wait to join your crew. Let's get the bag. Appreciate that, Victor. Appreciate that for sure. Brian says he likes Washington first quarter. Might get there. Minus 110 on ESPN, Mark says. Oh, man. I played it already. Shout out to Mark. My eye screen says that it's minus. It does say now that it's minus 110. It said minus 115 when I just looked, though, Mark. Appreciate you, Mark. Minus 110. Definitely always get the best of the number. Ben says Wizards can I think he means can't stop a nosebleed. I did think about that, but I think the Knicks offense is going to play slow. Whenever you give up 120 points to the Orlando Magic, it can be scary to take an under in the next game. But I do think that the Wizards are going to struggle to score. I think the Knicks will play slow as well. I do not do round robins, Victor. Not often. I don't think I've done a round robin all season. Chad says, Chris, I've been watching you and Cal Kerms recently. Y'all boys are monsters. Let's cash. Appreciate that, Chad. Yeah, Cal's been on a nice little run. I'm trying to catch up to Cal, if I'm being honest. But yeah, recently things have been going pretty well. It's been a lot more green nights than red, but a couple red nights in there. All right, let's move over to the next one. We got the Bucks and the Kings. So this is one I kind of want to continue to break this down. I was looking into this one. This was actually the game that I skipped yesterday. I didn't go through this game in complete detail, like a thorough handicap. But I do know that the Kings opened as 2-point favorites, and now they're 2-point. They opened as 2-point dogs, I think, is what it opened at, and now they're 2-point favorites. So money is coming in on the Kings, and money is coming in on the Kings, and this total is continuing to drop. This opened at 229.5 yesterday. Damian Lillard got ruled out. Giannis is listed as probable, and then on the Sacramento Kings side of things, Sabonis is going to continue to be out. I also see Gary Trent Jr. on the injury report. It looks like he's probable with a knee injury. So you got a Milwaukee team that hasn't been great on the road in general. They are just 14-18-1 against the spread on the road. But Sacramento is also terrible at home, just 12-20-2 against the spread at home. Remember, the Sacramento Kings, they have been at the crib for a couple games in a row now. Most recently, they won the second leg of a back-to-back facing the Bulls team that was also on the second leg of a back-to-back, and they got steamrolled in that game. The Bulls won that game like pretty easily, scored 130-something points, and that's why I can't play Sacramento in this spot, because defensively they've been terrible as of late. I think it'd be Bucks or pass for me, even without Dame. I think I'd be looking towards the Bucks. The Bucks have dominated the matchup. They've won 9 of the last 10 games. I remember that off memory. The last time that the Bucks were in Sacramento, they did get smoked, though. I think they lost that game by 30, 35 points. Me and Kyle, and I think it's Ski, too, all did a show. And that might have been a game that Kyle put the belt up last year or something like that. And Sacramento, they got the job done. They did play earlier this season, and that game went up and over the total 130-115. The Bucks took care of the Sacramento Kings on January the 14th is what I put in my notes. So initially I was looking over, But this was before the Dame news, because the totals are 9-1 to the over in the last 10 matchups. Sacramento is not playing a lick of defense. They're 7-3 to the over in their last 10 games. I thought since Dame took the night off against the Lakers, he was going to come back and be rested in the spot, but that turned out to be wrong. So then when I found out that Dame wasn't going to play, I started looking into the under. The Bucks have played 11 games without Dame. They are 7-4 to the under. Those games are only averaging a combined 214 points. Milwaukee's offensive rating drops from a 117 to a 111 when Dame is off the floor. And then their defense gets better. With Dame on the floor, they have a 116 defensive rating. With him off the floor, a 107 defensive rating. The total, like I said, just has dropped from 229.5 all the way down to, it looks like 225.5 now. So I don't want the worst of the number, but and I also just don't trust Sacramento's defense. Sacramento, to put some numbers to Sacramento's defense, they are really, really bad right now. To put some numbers to that, let's just see. I know that the Bucks offense hasn't looked great. You can't even really count the Lakers game because all the Lakers defenders were out. But if we look at Sacramento defensively, they are the second worst defensive team last 5 games. They got a 128.9 defensive rating. And yeah, I mean, they're just not stopping anybody. If you look at the Kings in their last handful of games, they just gave up 128 to the Bulls, 119 to the Cavs, even though they won. The Grizzlies got 130, 122. The Suns got 122. The Warriors got 130. The Knicks got 133. So, yeah, their defense has been really, really bad as of late. They are over, like I said, in 7 of their last 10 games as well. So, don't like that as much. The Bucks have actually been a lot more profitable as of late. ATS wise, I know that they failed to cover against the Thunder and the Warriors. Those two teams look like two of the best teams in the Western Conference. They beat the Lakers. The Lakers were shorthanded, but beat the Lakers before that. The Lakers, I think, were shorthanded without Bron in that game. Beat the Pacers. Yeah, I think that ATS-wise, they've been a little bit more profitable than the Kings recently. So as much as I can't lay points with a team, Ski always say this, they don't get stops. And Sacramento's not stopping anybody, but I don't really know if I want the Bucks either. I considered this, though. Let's go over the Outlier real quick. Show you guys what I consider, and then I got to get ready to get up off here. Oh, we got to go through one more game, then I got to get ready to go. My son got soccer today. So go back to Outlier. Again, there's a 7-day free link trial in the description. Giannis up and over his assist prop today, I think is a pretty good look. He's going to have an inflated line. You can see 51.5. He stayed under. This is points, rebounds, and assists. Stayed under in 3 of his last 10 games, in 7 of his last 10 games. But I was looking at his assists specifically. The number is 6.5. And yeah, I just think the potential assist opportunities for Giannis in this spot is going to be there. So if we look at games played without Dame this season, which Dame averages a lot of assists, he's not getting the Cleveland defense. That is really, really good. Against this Wizards team, I'm not sure what happened, why he only had 3 assists in this game. He only had 6 potential. And then against the Lakers in the last game, this was a blowout, so he didn't need to play as many minutes. You can see he only played 29 minutes in that game. I'm expecting Giannis to have to play big minutes in this game. And then you look at one thing that we just talked about, the Kings struggling on defense. To me, what makes sense is the 3-point shots that they're going to be able to get. So this aligns. I think if you like Giannis assists, you like a guy like Taurean Prince up and over his 8.5 points. He's been in a little bit of a slump, only scoring 6 points in his last 3 games, but he should get a lot of opportunities today. The Bucks are in a really good spot to knock down a lot of threes. I know that they've been struggling. Maybe Kyle Kuzma. I don't really like betting on Kuz, but yeah, Giannis gets 40% of his assists from via above the break 3, and you're not gonna find a defense that's too much worse than the Sacramento Kings defense from the 3-point line. They're 28th on the full season. Giannis should be able to get a lot of these today, to kick a lot of kickouts to Taurean Prince's of the world, Kyle Kuzma's, AJ Green if you can get his number. So yeah, Giannis up and over his 6.5 assists make a lot of sense to me. It is up to 7.5 on a couple books, but right now the best number is available on. This was -115. Bet Rivers has a -115 right now. DraftKings got a -125. So it is moving in the direction of the over, and I would definitely agree with that. I have not played it yet, but that's what I'm thinking about in this game. Maybe more so even than just playing a side, just playing a player prop. I don't want to lay points with the Kings though. That's something that I'm not interested in doing. Let's see what we're thinking about this one, and we'll move over to the last. Yeah, I went over a couple player props already, Jeremy. Dom says he likes King team total over 113.5, thinking that they'll be able to score. Ron says I like Milwaukee, gonna wait on the injury report. Atlanta team total on Hard Rock. Jason said Hard Rock limit me. I can't play on Hard Rock. Hard Rock is boy. Yeah, shout out to the people that can play on Hard Rock. Justin says he does like the team total over. He thinks that the Bucks defense folds in this spot. Yeah, I don't have time to real quick. Let's go through it real quick. So I did want to see. I didn't match the teams up real quick. Let's see if Sacramento's offense should be able to score against Milwaukee's defense real quick. All right, so I know it's not on the screen, but Sacramento has been the 7th best offensive rated team. Last 5 games, second in effective field goal percentage, taking a bunch of shots in the mid-range. We know that already with Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. They're 4th in mid-range frequency, 6th in accuracy last 5 games. The Bucks defense has given that shot up a lot. 28th in frequency, 22nd in accuracy, so bottom 10 in both. So there should be some opportunities for Sacramento to knock down some mid-range shots in this game. Sacramento has not been pushing pace, 19th in transition frequency. The Bucks transition defense has been pretty bad. They actually got the worst transition defense in the last 5 games. The Bucks do, as far as efficiency. Yeah, this game to me, if the Bucks can knock down some shots, it screams over. Let's see, Bucks are 15th in pace. The Kings are just 23rd in pace though, but they're still giving it up. The games are averaging 240 points in the last 5. The Bucks games are averaging 220 in the last 5. The Bucks have been much better defensively. They got a 110 defensive rating, and the Sacramento offense has a 120 offensive rating. So there you go. Take with that information, do what you want. Smeezy likes Kuzma over his points plus rebounds of 22.5. Jeremy likes Kuzma as well. What up, Dexter says, shout out to you and the fam. Like button smash. Appreciate you, Dexter. Malik Monk was DeRozan going crazy last game. Yeah, one of those guys should be able to get it going today. Let's move over to the last one. I already told you, if you joined or if you was on the show earlier, you know that I already locked this one in. This line has been moving a lot. Open, I think, first number I saw was 10, but it looks like it opened 10.5. It got bet down to 10. Then it got bet back up to 10.5. Now it's down to 10. Now 9.5. One thing I know I'm not doing is I'm not betting against the Bulls right now. I'm a diehard Laker fan. If you watched the program, you know that already. But I can't bet against the Bulls right now. They made me some money a couple nights ago, and then I took the night off. I did not play them against the Sacramento Kings. They were getting 7 points in that game. They went into Sacramento, won the game outright. Still playing really, really hard. They've won 6 of their last 4 games. They've covered 8 of their last 10 games if you include the cover against the Phoenix Suns on the 6.5 that we got, because they ended up losing the game by 6. And all of those are in a row too. Like they've covered 8 straight games. You could say 8 straight games because the last 2 covers failed to cover against the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Indiana Pacers. So the Lakers should get a lot of players back. I know Tyus Jones is listed as questionable for the Chicago side of things. Rui Hachimura has been upgraded to questionable. Same thing for Bron, listed as questionable. So Lakers could get those guys back. Austin Reeves and Luka are listed as probable. And then I think it was somebody else on the injury report that got upgraded as well. I just want to make sure I got this right real quick. I'm expecting the Lakers to be at full strength is what I'm trying to say, especially if Rui plays. And I do think Bron's going to come back in this game. The Lakers got the Magic, I think, in Orlando in a couple days. So they do get a little bit of a rest before they travel. I mean, before they come to the East Coast. So Gabe Vincent is listed as questionable. Dorian Finney-Smith and Jared Vanderbilt are also probable. Yeah. So the Lakers should be pretty much at full strength in this game. If I match the teams up on the floor, it says under. The total, I was looking at it yesterday, it go from 231.5. DraftKings had a super low number, 231.5. And they got bet up to 234. And I was like, I just can't do it. Like looking at my numbers, it didn't make sense to take the over. And now it's coming back down. I see it back down. It looks like it's coming back down to 232.5 on DraftKings. So money coming back in on the under. It's just really hard to handicap the Bulls. They're not a good team, but they continue to play really, really well. What do the Lakers like to do? They like to shoot a ton of threes. They've been taking and making a bunch of them lately, especially when Luka has been playing. Chicago on the full season and last 5 games are a top 5 defensive rated team against the 3-point shot. So that says that LeBron should be able to play, really, really well. The Lakers have been really good at home. They're 24-12 against the number, 4-1 against the spread in their last 5. And they've been covering pretty much every single game at home. I know they didn't cover the last one, but you can kind of throw that one away because they got, the Bucks without any of their players. So yeah, I think the Lakers are going to run a lot of pick and roll, and they're going to throw a lot of lobs to Jaxson Hayes, which is why if you watched the beginning of the show, I said I was taking Jaxson Hayes up and over his points prop. So we'll go back to Outlier one more time, show you guys the Jaxson Hayes look. Let's see. So Jaxson Hayes, 8.5 is the number now. And it's funny because it's not funny actually, but when I sent this out last night, I specifically said, all right, so this is his points. 8.5 is the number now. So if we look at games, so this is his last 10 games. You can see he's over in 5 out of 10. But with Luka and LeBron on the floor, I just think that he's going to be able to really kind of thrive, right? And get whatever it is that he wants in this game at the rim. And when I put this in the write-up last night, so this opened at 7.5 and it was minus 115 on ESPN Bet. I thought we might see a minus 110. So I didn't play it early. I woke up this morning and it was minus 125 on Hard Rock, which I still couldn't bet that because they limit me. So I was like, cool, I'll just play it at 8.5. And that's what I said. I said, not sure what the line will open on some of the other books because it was only open on 2 last night, but he gets a really great matchup against the Bulls. Minus 115 juice isn't bad, but I'll see if I can wait for a minus 110. And he's over in 6 of the 10 games that he has played with both LeBron and Luka, even though this graphics is not showing that because the number has changed. This was over at 7.5. So you can see he's landed on 8 in a couple of these games in a row. But yeah, over in 6 of his 10 games with LeBron and Luka on the floor, averaging right at 8.5 points, which is where this line is now. But he gets a very favorable matchup, a lot of rim runs. Jaxson Hayes gets 35% of his points off cuts to the rim, another 24% as the pick and roll man. And no team in the NBA allows more points to the pick and roll man than the Chicago Bulls. Like we just said, they guard the 3-point line. They do not guard the rim. Nick Richards just had 18 points against this team on a line of 10.5. Sengun had 24 on a line of 21.5. Nicholas Claxton had 18 on a 10.5 number. So I did lock in Jaxson Hayes over his 8.5 points right before the show started. I think Jaxson Hayes gets at least double digits today. So we got plus 115. I like it a lot. Probably going to stay off the side in the total. Just root for Jaxson Hayes in this spot. And that's probably all I'll play in this one, man. Probably all I will play. 2 teams that I do not bet on. My Los Angeles Lakers and the Chicago Bulls. But like I said, under makes a lot of sense. Lakers have been a really good defensive team. The Bulls just define the odds of scoring the basketball. They feel like they can score against anybody. Let's see what we are thinking here. And then we'll do a quick recap and get off of here. Lakers first quarter, Brian says. I know LJ's been killing this. He says it's been nice to get some of the boys back on the floor. Let's go Lakers. Dom says he likes the under. What up, Real DJX? Appreciate you for tapping in. Brian says Luka first quarter points have been off to a fast start. Not sure what the number is. Brian rebounds and assists. What up, Steven? Appreciate you for tapping in. DJ says Luka is turning Jaxson Hayes into Derek Lively. It's something like that. It's something like that for sure. Do we have Jaxson Hayes first quarter props? Because I am interested to see what the numbers are with Luka on the floor. Jaxson Hayes first quarter props. And then I'm going to do a quick recap and jump off. Crazy I've been talking about these games for this long and it's only a couple. Let's see. Jaxson Hayes first quarter props. Do we have a first quarter line? 2.5 for Jaxson Hayes. He's hit this number in 13 of his 23 games on the season. In games with Luka in, he has hit the number in 6 of his 13 games, averaging right at 2.8. So not a lot of value there. It's also juiced to the over at -1. Oh, well, ESPN Bet got a -135. Oh, they got a +135. So +135 for Jaxson Hayes to get 2 dunks in the first quarter, pretty much. I don't think I could talk anybody off of that. He got it against Denver, didn't get it against San Antonio, got it against Phoenix. And like I said, this is the best matchup he's going to get all season. Points in the paint, nobody allows more. Rim runs, nobody allows more. So I do like this Jaxson Hayes look a lot. I'm going to just play what I played, though. Barrio says he took Jaxson Hayes points in the Lakers money line. Smeezy likes the Lakers -10. Prop says he'll take that. He likes that first quarter look. Okay. Cool. Let's jump into a quick recap. So these were on the short list before the show started, but I did place these. Did not get a 14 for Atlanta. I got a 13, so I need to update that real quick. 113.5 is an official play now, so that can be changed to green. If you're new to the show, the red plays are plays that I'm highly considering but have not pulled the trigger on. The green plays are plays that I played. So I did play 221.5 for Washington and New York, but I'm gonna put the best number up here for you. I got the worst of the number. So if you like to tail that one, you can get that at 223 on DraftKings, and Caesars has a 223. Bet365 has a 223 as well. Giannis, I have not played over his assist prop yet. Jaxson Hayes, 8.5 points, should be green. I did lock that in already. So these are ways that I'm looking. Also, what else did we miss? I think that's it. The Brooklyn, Indiana game, I have nothing on based on the injury report. Do like Atlanta team total under. Do like the Knicks under. And the Wizards under. Like Giannis assists and Jaxson Hayes points. Yeah, 5 games. 4 plays, 5 games, 3 plays. Potentially might get there with Giannis as well. We'll see how that goes. And we shall return tomorrow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 games on the board for tomorrow. So we'll be live in the morning. Resources are all here. Check them out. Again, Jaxson likes a bunch of things today, but it does agree with my Wizards and Knicks under. It also likes Josh Giddey over his points. I think I said points plus rebounds at 26.5. It also likes LeBron over his 39.5 points plus rebounds and assists, and Tyrese Halliburton over his 9.5 assists as well. All 4 plays that Jaxson likes today. So tell what you like, leave what you don't. Check out Outlier. There's a 7-day free link trial in the description. Moneyballer 50% off as well. And that's the show for today, man. Best of luck on all your action. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Enjoy your Saturday. Bye.